Heyo, welcome to Dark Souls. Today we're going to be testing the viability of the Great Scythe. But how do we determine viability? Well, we use 4 factors. Its damage, moveset, how early on you get it, and its method of upgrading. Well, that about covers it. Let's get into the run. So for this run, I picked the Hunter, because it has a high dexterity and strength stat, the 2 stats we need for a Great Scythe. As for items, I picked a Master Key, so that I could skip the atrocity that is Blighttown. Behold, Quell Zelda. I get out of my cell and go over to the Asylum Demon, who blasts me. I then find my short sword and murder Oscar with it in cold blood. Hey, Asylum Demon, remember me? This fight was about as easy as hitting a fat tub of lard with a stick, and before long the Asylum Demon was down. Oh man, what a nice view! Uh-oh. Firelink Shrine, my beloved. I decided to kill Fetty Bulger because he's looking funny, and then pump some stats into vitality and strength. I need 14 strength and 14 dexterity to properly wield the Great Scythe, so that's my first priority. Speaking of which, it's time to go get it, which means going to the catacombs, yay! The catacombs are a mess like usual, but after a few deaths and my fair share of frustration, I finally get what I'm looking for, the Great Scythe. And with my weapon in hand, it's time to tackle the undead burg. The hardest part of this place was this jump, which I thought was possible. Spoiler, it was not. The giant wyvern made me wet my pants a little, but he saw me and ran away. Yeah, go on, run. After nearly being taken out by Donkey Kong himself, it's time for the Taurus Demon. Immediately I climbed the ladder to take out the archers, and then went to go lure the Taurus Demon. And with my cheeks clenched as he approached faster than I'd like, I climbed the ladder to safety. I then showed him what I showed the Asylum Demon. This was yet another easy fight, besides the occasional janky hitbox. Already the scythe was performing very nicely. I say hi to the G Solaire and then realize that the wyvern wanted revenge. Some rats show me that I'm an absolutely atrocious player. And then I get plowed by a bull! Soon though, I'm in the only place that makes me feel as safe as Firelink. I love you, Andre. I farmed a bit of souls and got my scythe to +5. And now with my weapon upgraded, it's time for the bell gargoyles. Another easy fight. Okay, let's try that again. Anyways, as I was saying, this fight isn't anything too bad. The Great Scythe just absolutely shreds through these guys. And after the first gargoyle goes down, it's a cakewalk from there. I ring the first Bell of Awakening and then head back to Firelink Shrine. I gave Lenny a good view of my foot, who was so impressed he even gave me his ring. My next order of business is ringing the second bell in Blighttown. But luckily for me, I have a Master Key, which allows me to skip Blighttown as a whole. You know, why do I even have this thing in Blighttown? I grab a nearby bonfire, then head to the boss that makes you question both Miyazaki's creativity and my own sexual interests. I for some reason decide I want to kick and then get trampled on. Okay, let's try that again. Wait, what are you doing? Maybe this time? Stop doing that! By this point, I pretty much figured out her moveset, but the explosion move kept catching me. But after a couple more runs, I figured it out. If you go into the armpits of the spider when she does her fire sword attack, she actually can't hit you. And after risking it all as she went for her explosion attack, I finally beat her. I rang the second bell and headed downstairs. Hey Demon Ruins, I'm not quite ready for you yet. I turn back around to meet Quelaag's sister, who I accidentally kill while getting my ass beat by a slug. I pump all my souls into health, head back up through Blighttown, talk to Frampt, and head back over to the Undead Asylum. I'm here to grab the— Whoa! Hey man, long time no see, right? The Stray Demon has a few new attacks, but he still goes down as easily as the other one. He gives me a Titanite slap, and I make my way through the asylum to get the doll. Afterward, I go to Sen's Funhouse, which is just as fun as ever. And then meet Iron Man. This fight isn't anything crazy difficult, aside from the arena screwing me over a couple times. Honestly, my damage is pretty low, but it's easy enough for that not to be a problem. And eventually, he goes down. Not literally though, unfortunately. The naked mole rats with the wings abduct me and bring me to Hogwarts, where I have a run-in with a freaky chest. I play tightrope with some people in questionable costumes, and find a really ugly painting. Oh wait, I was just kidding! Huh, guess I'm gonna put some hallucinogenics in that painting. Me and the Sludge Dragon play Subway Surfers, and then I work some witchcraft in the Sleeping Dragon. You know, I came here to kill Priscilla, but upon seeing her fill of fondness for scythes, I let her live. The archers back at Hogwarts were annoying as ever. Seriously? I get double teamed by a freak chest and a silver knight. Why are they working together? I don't know. All I know is that I don't appreciate it. My plan was to buy the large titanite shards I needed from the giant blacksmith and upgrade my weapon to +10 before unsing Smo, but I forgot the large ember that allowed me to upgrade weapons further. So I had to run all the way back to Sen's funhouse and to Firelake Shrine before heading to Wendigo and his dogs. At this point I was quite over leveled for the fight, so he went down pretty easily. Oh no, wait, stay out! I pick up the large ember down in the depths and head all the way back to Hogwarts. Finally, after like 2 hours of running and fighting, I'm finally back. And I can't ascend my scythe. Turns out only Andre can use embers, so they run all the way back down to Parish. Yay! Hey Andre, take my ember. Finally, I'm able to upgrade my scythe to +10. Time to run all the way back to Hogwarts! You guys know how many miles I just ran? I'm not afraid of you. Never mind, I lied, I'm afraid! Okay, let's try that again. Uh-oh. Third time's the charm? I'm targeting Ornstein first because even though that makes the first phase hard, Super Smo is super easy. And as long as I'm patient and play defensively, it's doable. Especially because the scythe is doing so well. And after a bit of patience, Ornstein goes down. Time for Super Smo. He plays like one of the Asylum demons, using slow-moving but high-damaging attacks. And that signature butt slam. Even though I did get greedy in the end and paid for it, a little patience goes a long way. And just like that, we're halfway through the game. I pump the souls into endurance and dexterity to maximize my damage and then kill the fake courtesan. Outraged, Gwendolyn traps me in a long hallway in order to spite me from a distance. Like, seriously dude, come back here. They beam me through a wall somehow, and then I proceed to play chase for several minutes.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse.
Shut up! With the Lord Vessel in hand, I'm finally able to warp, so I head back to Firelake Shrine. Hey, Frampt. I got the Lord Vessel like you asked. Now what? Yeah, okay. You sure there weren't, like, stairs down here or something? Anyways, I make a beacon from Minecraft, and now I must kill the 4 lords and collect their souls. I decide to tackle the 4 kings first, which sadly means Sif has to go. The worst part about this fight is that it's super easy. It makes me feel even worse by killing this poor thing who's just protecting their master's grave. And filled with guilt but stuffed with determination, I end the fight and receive the Abysswalker ring. On the way back to Firelake, I decided to join the Forest Hunter Covenant and then instantly betray them so I can get the Flippy ring. Why? Because flips are awesome. Fatty Bulger's friends jump me, and then I jump back to Firelake. Man, I miss this place. Anyway, it's time for my least favorite section in the whole game, New London Ruins. I hate this place because it forces you to use transient curses so that you're able to hit the ghosts, who can go through walls by the way. And after getting lost and spending more time in this cursed place than I like to admit, I finally found the water release switch, which opens up the lower part of the ruins. This place is now flooded with dark knights instead of water, but they're not much of a problem. In fact, sometimes they even drop titanite chunks, so I made sure to farm them until I had all the chunks I needed. Oh my god, is that a vagrant?! This is my first time seeing one. Oh, that was quick. Dropped to humanity though. I made sure to grab the very large ember so that I can max out the scythe later. At this point, I decided to fight the 4 kings without upgrading my scythe, so it's going to do significantly less damage. But if you decide to use the scythe and have trouble beating them, then I heavily recommend going back and upgrading your scythe to +10. Honestly, I despise the 4 kings and just hope to get the fight over with as soon as possible whenever I fight them. It's a monotonous, boring, and tedious fight that you just take your way through. And if you don't kill them fast enough, others will come and overwhelm you. And the arena, or lack of one, makes it super difficult to gauge the distance of things. But after a close call, the fight is finally over. I head back to the undead parish and give Andre the very large ember. And with the Titanite chunks I farmed and the Titanite slab I got from the Stray Demon, I'm able to get the Great Scythe to max level. I also finally decided to put on some fashion before heading to one of my favorite parts in the whole game, the Demon Ruins. No, I'm not kidding. I actually really enjoy this part of the game. I know a lot of people say it feels rushed and looks ugly, and I do get where they're coming from, but nevertheless I enjoy it. I make my way over to Pillager's corpse for his clothes, and Balrog, jealous of my newfound swag, attacks me. Unfortunately for him, he's an idiot and falls off the cliff after the wind knocks off his hand. I put on the Grim Reaper's clothes. Hey, is that Wendigo again? What are you doing here, man? Hey, Mr. Centipede Demon. I wonder what's behind this fog wall. Surely it's not another copy and pasted boss from a different area. Oh my god! Although it's almost identical to the other demons, I still do enjoy this fight. This one does have a few new moves though, so it's more like hitting a fat tub of lard on fire with a stick. I do admit these new moves can be downright infuriating sometimes, but the spicy demon eventually goes down. Almost immediately after is a wacky waving arm flailing tube demon. At the beginning of the fight, I run over to the right side of the arena, which has more safe land to fight on. I know a lot of people hate on this boss, but once again, I tend to enjoy it. I love being able to cut off its limbs, and its attacks aren't too insane, in my opinion. At this point, the scythe is absolutely shredding their boss's health bars. And in almost no time at all, he goes down. Leave me alone! The next boss is actually one of my favorite bosses in the game. Nah, I'm just kidding, I hate this boss. It has a cool sliding entrance, but that's it. I'm able to get to the first route pretty easily, but now the fight is harder and I die on the way to the second route. Time to run back. Luckily, the Beta Chaos saves progress. I get trapped, but I'm able to go back and hit the second route. Stupid bug. But with that over, I go back to Firelink and then back down at the catacombs. I embarrassingly take damage from Pinwheel, but he goes down in a few hits. Time for my second least favorite part of the whole game. Oh boy. After a couple sketchy leaps in complete darkness, I find a bonfire and make my way over to— Jesus! I got lost a couple more times, but I finally find Nito. It starts great. He has a tendency to kill his allies, giving me a perfect chance to attack, if I don't get hit. A couple more cycles of this and the fight's over pretty quickly. Only after having a close call. And run to the last of the lords, so I head back to Hogwarts and go up the Duke's Archives. The Crystal Dudes give me some trouble since their crystal weapons are super damaging, but I get up to Seath in no time. Whoops. Now that I had all 4 Lord Souls, I killed the Hydra so I could go to the DLC. This portal looks dangerous. I should touch it. Uh-oh. Man, I have got to stop touching it being pulled into obscure worlds. The first of the DLC bosses is unrelenting and fast, but has no health, so they go down very quickly. On to Artorias. Hey, have you seen Artorias? Hey, Artorias. Needless to say, the Abyss Walker was one of the best bosses in Dark Souls 1, and I think he was the foundation for some of the best bosses later on. I somehow knock him out of his phase 2 transition, and he goes down shortly afterward. Now without me whiffing, of course. I blast my way through Oolstead Township and get blasted a couple times myself. Hey, who turned off the lights? Hey, mister, did you turn off the lights? Maintenance of the aim is fights ferociously, but he actually has a lot of attack windows. Unfortunately, I overestimated the sturdiness of a pillar and got beamed. He goes down on my next attempt though, only after I almost lose the fight to a whiff. Hey, can you turn on the lights now? Get out of here. Ow. Ow, wait, I'm sorry! Crisis averted. Ooh, some nice loot. I sure hope an ancient dragon doesn't come and... Oh my god. Wait! Meester, that mean dragon killed me. Thanks, Meester. Time to go finish him off. I still think the Calamity is one of the best dragon fights that FromSoft has ever created. The amount of health he has, the flow of the fight, it's all been tuned to near perfection. And you can't forget about his awesome design with his one red eye and his yellow and black fire. Eventually though, my favorite fight came to an end. And just like that, the DLC is done. I pumped the last of my souls into endurance since my other main stats are at their staff cap and head down to the final boss. Wake up, Framps. Come on, this again? Gwyn, here I come. Long time no see, right man? To end this run, I have one final... Well, that didn't go well, let me try again. Okay. Wait! Come on, I didn't even hit him that time. As I was saying, I have one final opinion that's really controversial nowadays. I argue that not only is Gwyn a very difficult boss when fought normally, he's in fact the hardest boss in the game. Yeah, harder than ONS, harder than Manus. See, he doesn't ever let you get a heal in. The way he attacks just isn't designed for Dark Souls 1. Eventually, I learned to play more defensively, which got me hit less, until I finally beat Gwyn, Lord of Cider. And in true Reaper fashion, I plunged the world into darkness, becoming the new Lord of Death. So how viable is the Great Scythe? Well, let's take a look at the table. First of all, the damage to enemies was consistently remarkable throughout the entire game, so that gets a 10. The damage against bosses was great for the most part, but there were some weaknesses such as the Iron Golem, so I'm gonna give it an 8. The moveset was alright, it had a good running attack, but its other attacks were kinda janky, so I'm gonna give it a 6. As for the acquirability, you had to go through the catacombs, which kinda sucks, but it's at the very beginning of the game, and because of that, I'm gonna give it a 9. The Great Scythe takes the normal upgrade path, which is pretty easy, so I'm gonna give it 10. So, in the end, the Great Scythe is viable, and I recommend trying it if you haven't already.